It might not last that long. Let's see how we get on.
Here we are.
Okay.
Technical fail Outlaws live for you on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can actually do a show.
Let's see how far it goes. We don't know how long it will last. Fine. Okay. No guarantees. I might start my recording now then.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Before I forget.
It's always a winner.
It's rolling.
Starting the recorder, it's always good.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. Let's do the show then, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, here we go.
Linux Outlaws is proudly sponsored by Bytemark UK. Check out their Big V platform for all your web hosting needs. Find out more at bytemark.co.uk. Six Gun Productions. New media, new rules.
There are two kinds of spurs, my friend. Those that come in by the door, those that come in by the window.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Linux Outlaws. This is episode 351. I'm Frab from Hanover in Germany, where I've changed the studio setup once again, and everything's broken.
For a minute there, I should introduce myself first. Hey everyone, my name's Dan, of course, and I'm coming to you from Liverpool in the UK. For a minute there, I misheard you. I thought you said you'd shamed your studio setup. I thought you just stood there shouting at it, going, "You are a disgrace! Disgrace!"
I did this a few minutes ago, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had some problems getting online and getting connected and stuff, so we don't know how long this is going to last, but
I basically changed
we'll see.
I play the bumpers from because the EPC wasn't working out. I was posting about this on my blog, and I was like, hopefully it's gonna work for the show on Wednesday. Yeah, kinda. It's still touch and go. If you've been listening to the show, you know we do this.
You know that, yeah.
You know, you gotta keep things interesting, basically.
Yeah. I haven't changed much, and maybe I should change my studio now. It must be my turn. I haven't changed much in here. So I don't know. I'll think of something to change. I don't know. I'll change the. I was gonna say change the wallpaper, but I haven't actually got wallpaper, so I suppose I'd have to put up wallpaper. I could paint the walls, but no, I'm not doing that. It's too much like work. I don't know. I'll work something out. I'll change the light bulb. How does that sound? That could work. Cool.
That's about it.
Yep. So it's very late. Well, for Fab, it's even later, and we're pressing on through. It's late night Outlaws again. We haven't done that for a while.
Yeah, we've got lots of topics. I think this will be an interesting show.
Yeah.
If it doesn't implode on us, I'm still a bit worried here looking at everything, but yeah, should be ready to go. We've got I want to mention I got emails. I got more emails. I read some emails that I've gotten a while ago, which I didn't get to. It's print deadline time again. I'm working on a huge article. It's horrible, so I don't get to do it. I just read emails that I got like in the beginning of May or something. Anyway, wow. I got a lot of email from people actually agreeing on my global warming thing. Which was interesting.
I saw a couple of those came to the normal address for the two of us. So I've seen some of those as well. So I know that you're not making it up.
I also had people who, which I also like, who didn't agree, but who said they liked my reasoning or the approach to it.
Okay. Yeah.
Another thing, we're using Hackpad to do the show note. Like when we do the show, when I say show notes, I mean the notes we're reading from right now These, of course,
Yeah.
get turned into the actual show notes, which I do after the fact.
Mhm.
But to collaborate with them together, we're using Hackpad, which was apparently bought, which is they're a company that do it was Etherpad. They have an Etherpad fork. And apparently they were bought by Dropbox, which I didn't notice because I never go to the front page. I just go to I'm always logged in.
It
So
always locked in.
yeah, it always sends me there. Apparently I got acquired by Dropbox a while ago, which is worrying because Dropbox now has Condoleezza Rice on
Condi.
the board, and we know that they not in this case, we know that they hand all their data to the NSA, which is a problem for us because in a week these show notes will be public anyway. So.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's not so much worry about keeping the show notes private or whatever, which is good because it's not only voluntarily that Dropbox give all their information to the NSA. They seem to involuntarily give all the information to anyone because their security is just fucking terrible. Yeah, and they've had repeated problems with, oh shit, we've just given people access to every Dropbox. Sorry about that. And they've done that a few times. So I don't particularly trust them with anything I'm not prepared for someone else to see.
The article I'm writing actually is on encrypting stuff to put in the cloud. Like on Dropbox, how to do that, which is harder than you'd think it is.
Yeah.
Once the CT is out and everything, I can talk about this for a bit, I think. On the show.
For me, it's mainly I do use Dropbox quite a lot, but not for backups or anything. I just use it for when I need to share files with people like you.
Shit
and if I need to share files between one location and another that are not secure files or whatever, that I'm not really caring about. Or stuff like with the band, I can share stuff with the other guys in the band, easily. But it's not anything that I'm worried about people seeing.
And you can mess with the NSA, right? So you can download a picture of a huge cock from the internet and name it mypenis.jpg.
I just happen to have one on my computer at all times, and for just such a purpose, if anyone asks me. I don't know how it'll affect it. It's been a while. I think it's been. I don't know when. Hasn't it been like a month or something? It's been.
Yeah, I didn't know at all.
So far, I haven't. Well, that's good. So far, we haven't seen any changes in the actual service.
Broken it.
But maybe that's Maybe that's because it's too early. I don't know. Early days.
Too early to tell, yeah.
Yeah, we got almost our Tinseltown Stiff section this week.
Yeah, very, very sad. This morning I learned that Eli Wallach has died. Who is one of my favorite actors. He was Tuco in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which is my favorite film of all time. He was the bandit in Magnificent Seven, but he was in everything. He was in Godfather 3. He played pretty much anything. He's like a Jewish actor, but he was like from an Italian kind of family, so he always played like Italians or Mexicans.
Yeah, he looks good as the kind of Mexican bad guy in Magnificent Seven and so on.
We have a lot of clips of him that I always play. For example, like this one.
There are two kinds of people in the world, my friend. Those with a rope around their neck and the people who have the job of doing the cutting.
This guy's he's brilliant. He's a brilliant actor. He turned 98, so I guess he had a very full life. He always appeared in films with his wife, apparently, which I didn't know.
No.
She's still alive. And yeah, great guy. He was still working in like 2010, was the last movie he was in, I think, or something.
So when he was 94?
Yeah, something like that. He was going strong.
Wow. Well, it says 60-year career. That's pretty good. 60-year career. That's pretty impressive. That's a long time in any career.
Also, he never got he was one of those guys who never got an Oscar. He got one, he got one of those lifetime. Like when they noticed that for 60 years they've been ignoring this guy who's been in every movie and everybody loves him, then they give him like for lifetime achievement or whatever.
Yeah, they always do that.
I guess when The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly came out, they had no idea how good that movie was. They thought it was horrible. By coincidence, before I knew that, I'm wearing a Dark Tower T-shirt. Stephen King, The Dark Tower, which the original book in that series, The Gunslinger, is the first commercial book that Stephen King ever wrote. and it's about a Western character in like a fantasy world. As the name suggests, the gunslinger, and he wrote that when he came out of seeing The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me, to be honest.
That made such an impression on him that he wrote that book.
Yeah, it made a big impression on a lot of people. That film, I think, and you can see bits of it in all kinds. Yeah, I mean, every kind of Western character in comic books after that became like one of the characters from that. So it seemed. So as they would say on Hollywood Babylon, big bucket of win, cauldron of win.
Huge bucket of win, yeah.
Yeah, as Kev would say. So I'm
sure he will be on the next HBO.
Oh yeah. I mean, if it happened today, that'll be God knows next week or something. Although to be honest, I might get to see it because I'm going to finally get to see them live on Sunday.
Cool.
So I'm hoping maybe they'll talk about that. I don't know.
Kind of envious. Sure. That's cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. So I'm going to if any other I don't know if you'll hear it by then, but if any other Outlaws fans are also into HBO Hollywood Babylon, I'll be going to the show in Birmingham on 29th.
Can you just watch that? Isn't there a football game? Isn't England playing? Oh no, they're not.
No. Well, I knew booking it like a year ago. It wasn't a year ago. It was a good while ago. But I knew that wouldn't be a problem. No, so I wasn't too worried about that. My team's Belgium now, anyway, because that's who I had in the sweepstakes. So.
Well, as long as it's not Uruguay.
I'm now Belgian. Did you not know that?
Well, that's okay. I can live with that. They're actually playing probably right now, right?
I thought they played tomorrow, Belgium. I thought they played tomorrow because they're in the next group after Germany, I think.
Oh, could be, yeah.
They're in the last group.
Playing against Russia. We have to talk about Uruguay and Luis Suarez, who's a Liverpool player.
Yes, yeah.
Who completely disgraced himself yesterday. That was a horrible.
Well, not for the first time.
Biting Cellini.
Yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know,
you can't have missed this on Twitter. I mean,
no, but we do have listeners who have nothing to do with football or anything like that. So if you don't know, there was a match last night, Italy and Uruguay. Final match of the group that they were in to decide who was going to qualify, and in the end, Uruguay actually qualified. They won 1-0, but only after a very ridiculous incident where Suarez, who's a player who twice in the past has been suspended, has been banned from playing for biting other players. Trying to bite them. He did it again for no apparent reason that I could see, anyway. His excuse, apparently, I heard that he's been talking to the Uruguayan media, who they're the only ones he's spoken to, because I think he assumes they might be the sympathetic ones. He claims what did he say now? He claims the guy fell on top of him or something. Or, I don't know. It was just fell on his teeth. Yeah, it was just a poor excuse, really.
In his excuse, his teeth are protruding a lot.
It's got big teeth. Yeah. Down holding his teeth. When he was sat there, he was holding his teeth as well.
Well, he basically the full thing that happened is, first off, an Italy player gets sent off with the red card for no reason at all, and then Suarez does the biting thing, but then he falls down and holds his teeth as if Cellini had actually attacked him, and then. Cellini goes and pulls his jersey up and goes to the ref to show him the obvious bite marks in his shoulder, and this other Uru player comes and pulls his jersey down.
Yeah, that was Ramirez.
At that point, I would have just flipped. I would have just kicked the other guy in the face.
He would have got sent off for sure then.
Yes, of course. But I gotta say, I've never seen an Italy team that disciplined. I can tell you.
It was odd. Yeah, it was very odd.
If they had still had Gattuso on the squad, that would have been death yesterday. He would have just killed somebody for just Oh my god.
Yeah, or where's someone like Gentili who would have just absolutely.
Yeah.
He was a very badly named player for a guy called Gentili. He was well known for like breaking people's legs and things.
What a
I think the whole
ridiculous
thing is
game.
ridiculous. I think he's. I mean, obviously as a Liverpool fan, I'm even more disappointed because I think that means I think his career could be over. People are saying around here are saying I'm being ridiculous, but I honestly think his career might be over.
Well, they could ban him in the Premier League as well. The FA.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, people are saying that FIFA can't ban him from the Premier League, but
Well, they
FIFA.
can.
That's what I said. This is ridiculous. FIFA are the world governing body of football, so FIFA tell UEFA what to do, and UEFA tell the English FA what to do, and then they tell the Premier League what to do. So
they actually looked up the rule on German TV yesterday. They actually looked it up. They actually changed. There was a rule change in the 90s that explicitly says, especially for World Cup matches, that FIFA has the right to ban players from their local leagues.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
They used to have, I think they used to have problems where they would get banned and then they wouldn't care. They'd just go home and play.
Carry on. Yeah.
So they changed that. It's interesting that Oliver Kahn yesterday talking about this incident because he was in studio, well known for also biting other players.
Well, at least he had some knowledge of the topic.
Oh yeah, I love what's his face, Rusty Rockets on Twitter. What's this?
Russell Brand.
Yeah, Russell. He was saying like after the incident, very quickly he was tweeting, Suarez, don't do that. You can't do that. You can't bite other players. Your teeth are already protruding so much. It's not fair. It's like Gary Lineker attacking people with his ears.
Gary Lineker would work better as a goalkeeper with those ears. That would work better. I don't know what's going to happen. I suspect he will be banned. I don't know if he'll play again.
Banned from the World Cup at least. I mean
he's going to be. That's without doubt. I don't know whether he'll get banned from other competitions though. The thing that annoys me is that we can't even sell him now. He's basically it's fucked. Who's going to buy him? So that's that gone. That's that gone down the toilet.
Maybe you can get a role in Twilight or something.
Well, I also suggested to people this morning that I think he'll make a good deal of money out of doing adverts for things like Mars bars now.
Yeah, Snickers actually.
Yeah, straight away. I mean, I can just see it right now. You'd have the advert where he's running around the pitch, biting people and so on. Yeah. And then someone goes, "Here, have this," and he eats that, and he goes, I don't feel the need to bite people anymore.
Snickers' advertising team is so good that by this morning they had ads on Twitter with a Snickers bar that just says "tastes better than Italian." # Luis Suarez. And there were some really good headlines. HuffPo UK had the headline. Was it Chewy Louie and the Blues?
Yeah, I saw that, Chewy Louie and the Blues.
The funniest thing I saw today, though, was just a picture of the Apple logo. And it says Luis was here. Or Suarez was here.
Right, okay. Yeah, it's just crazy.
I'm sad that Italy's out, but on the other hand, they also didn't play that well. So they kind of brought that on. I mean, they played like they always play, but they kind of brought that on by themselves, like trying to play 0-0. I liked when Buffon went out and was like in the box, and like the last the last time they were putting the ball in, forward, they were actually, I don't know who flanked, but he was kind of trying to hit Buffon, and because he's actually a decent field player.
Yeah, and he's a big guy as well.
Yeah, that would have been amazing if he had scored, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just checking. It's France, Ecuador tonight, and Switzerland, Honduras. And France are looking good. They're still 0-0. France are looking quite good, actually. I've been impressed by them.
I don't agree with that. I'm quite now. See, lots of this is good for Germany. Like if we advance tomorrow, which kind of looks good, especially since your manager and the American manager just need to do themselves a deal. Since 2006, they've been best buddies. They've been training the team together in 2006.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. They used to work together.
Well, we actually had this. This is the disgrace of, I can't remember what the town was in. Was it 82 or something? when Germany was playing
Austria,
and they just.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they actually decided to draw.
So if we advance, I'm most afraid of the Netherlands. They look good, but they have the problem that they always look good in the beginning, and then they always lose at least, at latest in the semifinals, they always lose.
Well, I don't think they have looked. In the first game, obviously, they played really well. They hammered Spain, but since then, they haven't looked very impressive to me as much as I thought.
He's good, but he has only has one move. You always know. He's fast, but you know where he's coming from. I don't understand why people can't defend against that. Because if you look at the pitch, he always runs. Oh, sorry for this is Football Outlaws again.
Football Outlaws, yeah.
He always runs the same trajectory. So you just need to put a defender there, and he's done. It's not like
at the same time, he always shoots as well in the same way, and it always, nearly always goes in.
And he can't. Also, he's shit at actually getting around defenders. So his thing only works if there's no defender there. But anyway, that would be.
I get the red book out because I predict France are going to do better than Holland. I don't know why, but I just think France. Before the tournament, I didn't think much of France, to be honest. I really thought they were crap, but. I haven't seen them. I think they're actually stronger. They've got all round. They're a stronger team. Benzema has been amazing, incredible. I'm really surprised by how good he's been.
Where's my fucking pen?
I don't know.
I'm going to put it in the notes. Let me see.
And of course, Belgium to win the whole tournament now. I don't think that's going to happen. If Belgium win the tournament, I win the princely sum of £32, I think, because we had like £1 each for the sweepstake in the office. So I mean, it's £32. I'll go and get some drinks on it, but I don't think I'll be retiring.
Did you see was it? I thought he was Danish, but apparently he was Swedish. Some Norwegian. I think a Norwegian who bet on Suarez biting somebody.
Oh, I did see that.
And he won like a massive amount of money on that.
Mm-hmm. It makes you wonder whether him and Suarez had a deal, doesn't it? Maybe they had some kind of deal going, and he's got to split the money with him.
It was rigged. The bastard.
Inside the trading.
I have to say I'm kind of happy that Germany's last game. Well, we were playing tomorrow as we record this, but Germany's second game wasn't that good.
No.
But my favorite player, I've got the jersey behind me, Miroslav Klose, did what he always does. He was in the game. They subbed him in, and he was in the game for like 5 minutes.
I thought it was his first touch. It wasn't his first touch.
Yeah, it was his first touch.
It was his first touch.
It wasn't literally his first touch. He just put his foot, like he does. He knows where the foot needs to go, right where the post is, and scores. Which is amazing. He's always, even before the tournament, he's Gerd Müller was the best German international football player.
Has he equaled it or overtaken it?
No, he's overtaken Gerd Müller.
Okay.
Gerd Müller. It's not Thomas Müller. They're not related, by the way. Müller is a very common name in Germany. But he has now equaled Ronaldo on the all-time top scorer list. So if he shoots one more, if he scores one more, he's gonna win.
That's the original Ronaldo as well, not Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, not that
guy. Real Ronaldo.
The real Ronaldo. Yeah, the OG Ronaldo.
Mm-hmm.
I saw this on Twitter. This is amazing graphic that just has a picture of Rooney and says, last 4 World Cups, goals scored, Miroslav Klose, 15, England, 17.
I was actually quite pleased with that, because when I first saw it, the picture was half cut off, so I could see Rooney's face, and I could see the bit where it said closer 15, and I thought, oh Christ, ours is going to be lower. And then when I looked, it was actually 17, and I thought, oh, at least it's not lower.
Well, so, that can change out of the tournament.
Yeah, it can now.
Just wait for tomorrow.
Good point. Yeah.
What I like about him, he is a dying race. He's the quintessential striker. The guy that doesn't exist anymore. We only have offensive midfielders. You
got loads of those though.
Yeah, no. By we, I mean everybody. I mean the classical striker.
I mean, people only play one striker as well. I find it amazing when, a team plays 2 strikers, which used to be just standard. Everyone did that, and then the commentators are going, "It's gone crazy. He's putting 2 strikers on. They're just going crazy. It's all out."
The thing is, we play without a striker. Klose is the only striker in our team.
In the squad, I think.
Yeah, in the squad. They just sub him in. And then, oh, God, he's so good. And the thing is, of course, he was trash, like, when they subbed him in. But, like, when there was an attack by Ghana, it was an attack. And he was back there. He was, like, running and defending, which normal strikers don't do.
No, that's true.
That, man.
And he's also, like, 35, is he now?
36.
36.
The amazing thing is he used to play for Inter, right?
I remember that.
They sold him to Lazio because he was too old. They're like, he's too old, he's shit. And then he like played the season. What do you call them? Damn it!
He was top scorer.
Yeah, in the
Golden Boot.
That period, in that year, he played like the season of his career.
Yeah, I can believe that. He's far from the oldest player at the tournament now, because apparently, I know we're really like 15, 20 minutes into World Cup Outlaws now, so anyone else has switched off who's not interested. But they broke a record. So Roger Miller, when he played for Cameroon, famously, was 42 when he played for Cameroon in 1994 in the last one. He was the oldest player, but there's a guy now who's 43 who's playing who's playing for who's he playing for now? I'm gonna have to find it. I should know this in fact, but they were talking about it on the news this morning and I thought, really? Okay. Oldest player at World Cup. Let's just put that in. Let's just Google that. Live Googling.
Well, they have the results on Google now.
Here we go.
Which is actually a lot more useful than the fucking FIFA app, which is a piece of shit and doesn't work offline. And
So he's a goalkeeper, I think. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Veteran goalkeeper Faryad Mondragon, I can't say that. Mondragon, I think it is. Became Colombia. He plays for Colombia. He became the oldest player in the World Cup by setting the record at 43 years and 3 days old, apparently. So he's only just had his 43rd birthday. But, Roger Miller's record stood for 20 years, apparently, before that.
Wow. My favorite anecdote is Maradona, who, when he saw Thomas Müller for the first time, at Müller's first World Cup, Maradona was coach, Argentina. And he was giving a press conference, and the German press conference was before that, and Müller was still on stage. And Maradona came on stage and was like, what's going on? I thought this was only for national coaches. And then he went off stage, and Müller had to leave the stage so he could go on alone because he's Diego Maradona. And then he sat down and was like, I don't know who that was. Was that a player? I thought this was only for national coaches, right? And now, of course, everybody knows who Thomas Müller is. And Maradona is on Argentinian TV. He was in a show, and they were talking about Müller, and that he now knows where he is. And he's like, this guy is amazing. He's so thin. This is Diego Maradona. I mean, Müller is thin, but he's no Crouch, right? Crouch was thinner. But this is Maradona. This is like the smallest, fattest guy who ever played football. So amazing. And apparently, he ran 13 kilometers in that game. I've got no idea how you can even do that. Maradona, he was a classical striker. He was like doing, 500 meters a game? He was just in front of the goal hanging out.
No, that's not true. Maradona wasn't that kind of player at all. He ran all over the pitch. He was a short little fat guy. Yeah. Have you never seen the goal against England where he runs the whole length of the pitch, beating almost every player on the England team, and then passes it into net? Look it up. Maradona, World Cup '86. Not right now, but he was famous for dribbling. He was famous for dribbling and beating people and running past them. That's what he did. He is also the greatest player ever, in my opinion. But he is a fat guy. I'll give you that.
I that's why you like him.
Yeah,
you and Kev. I thought he was famous for using his hands to score.
That as well, yeah, the hand of God. Yeah. Anyway, on that note, we should probably move on from World Cup Outlaws. If anybody's still listening who's not interested in the World Cup, well done to you. We should probably talk about some tech type news.
To be fair, the show notes are timestamped now. And they're very consistently timestamped. You can look in the show notes. You'll see where the football discussion starts.
True.
I spent a lot of time listening to this and put the timestamps in, so you can actually skip all the football stuff if you don't.
True.
Good that I say that after.
No, you say that after we just talked through it all.
You should have been that smart from the beginning.
Well.
Anyway, have you heard of Keybase.io?
I have now, only because I've just looked at their website, though.
There's been a huge discussion in security circles on full disclosure, for example, about this. Basically, what it does, it pairs your PGP key. Well, PGP has a problem with adoption, and PGP has a problem where if people can't associate a key with you, you have a problem. For example, I have the problem, and lots of people have that problem. Somebody uploaded malicious keys for me, for my email address to key service.
Right.
And there's no way to get them off. They're everywhere. So if you search for my key and you get the wrong one,
it's going to come up as a...
Yeah, so I get people who send me encrypted email that I can't read.
Yeah.
I can't open them because they fetched another public key, which is mine. And then, so this is actually an attack you can do on people. Now, Keybase.io, give them your public key. You can actually upload your private key, and then you have more functions, although that's a big discussion.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very safe.
No, I wouldn't recommend that. But the other, if you go to Keybase.io/fabsh, this is in like alpha now, so you need like an invite to get in. But if you go to Keybase.io/fabsh, you will see that it has my Twitter and my GitHub thing, and you tweet. You basically encrypt something with your key, and then you tweet it. Like if you click on it says Fabsh Twitter, and then it says tweet. If you click on the tweet, you can see the tweet. Where I verify myself and the snarky comment by Heed, the bastard. So it kind of ties your accounts to your PGP identity, which is kind of cool.
That is very cool. I mean, again, it's going to depend on adoption, though. If people will have to adopt this Keybase thing, though. Otherwise, it won't have the value.
It solves one problem that PGP has, which is there are servers everywhere. They federate, but you kind of can't. The keys are just there, like in the cloud. They're not tied to anything. Like you can upload a key for my email address with my name, and then people don't know if the key I uploaded is the real one or yours. Well, you can see. You can see if you look. You can see that's mine signed. For example, I have mine signed by Heise because it has my Heise email address in it, so it's signed by Heise, so you can see. So that's the whole web of trust. So, but people don't look at that, which is the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good idea, and I hope it does take off. I'm looking at. I see two people that I know on there at the moment. I think we got Remy Van Elst is on there. By the look of it, yeah, and there's a few other people. So it looks like there's a few listeners already on there, so let us know what you think of it. Obviously you can email us or whatever you want to do, and let us know what you think of it, or go on to the Sitter Saloon. Encrypted, yeah.
That key.
With that key, yeah, that's true. Very cool. We got some news about Goat Simulator is now on Linux. This is the game that people came up with, which was it originally a joke, or was it? I thought it was a bit of a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke on Reddit, and then a developer did it, and I think it's quite successful now.
It's what we are waiting for. Goat Simulator. Yeah. So, I mean, what can you realistically do as a goat? We've talked about this before on the show, and I seem to remember. Yeah, I remember you telling me it was a fun game, actually.
It's kind of like a sandbox. It's like Tony Hawk. It's like a mixture of Tony Hawk with GTA, and you're a goat.
And Farmville. No? Sorry.
No, not much Farmville.
Not much Farmville. Oh, no. Okay, so it's more like Goatee Hawk or something. I don't know.
Goatee Hawk.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, so that's out now on Linux, which is cool through Steam.
Steam, yeah.
Yeah, you can buy it on Steam, which is good. So, it's good to see the library of Linux games is growing. What? Oh, okay, I've just read the title of this story, but you should probably explain. It's a US student gets stuck in giant German vagina. What's that about?
Well, this is an amazing story that has nothing to do with Linux, but I had to share. If you click on it, there's a picture. In front of the Tübingen University, there's a statue.
Yeah.
In
Okay.
front of the, I can read this. On Friday afternoon, a young American in Tübingen had to be rescued by 22 firefighters after getting trapped inside a giant sculpture of a vagina. The Kachan P, or Making Love, artwork by Peruvian artist Fernando de la Jara, has been outside Tübingen University's Institute for Microbiology and Virology since 2001 and had previously mainly attracted juvenile sniggers rather than adventurous explorers. Yes, he thought it would be funny to climb into the huge vagina and got stuck.
I admire his spirit, in some way. I think,
He's going to go places.
He's an adventurer. Let's give him that. It's not so good that he had to, he had to get 22.
It's so amazing if he had an indie hat on.
Yeah,
And like
true.
the leather jacket. I have the outfit.
And the whip as well.
Yeah.
He could have had the bull whip as well. Well, eventually he did get out, which is good news.
The penitent man kneels before the pushy.
My son's a fucking idiot.
I'm dying and he won't kneel.
Yeah. You're penitent, man. Right. I wonder if anyway, I might send that to Hollywood Babylon. I'm sure they've probably seen it, but I think they might get a bit of fun out of talking about that.
You should do that.
Yeah, I think they'll get some. I'm sure other people have sent it, but I should send it just to be on the safe side. Cool. All right.
We also had a less funny story.
Oh, yeah.
Luftwaffe, the German Air Force, apparently often trains maneuvers where they have a civilian jet that's also flown by Luftwaffe pilots, and then they have Eurofighters, and they try to force the plane to land. I'm guessing this is anti-terror stuff. Now, this gone horribly wrong when a Eurofighter collided with a Learjet over a German town in the middle of nowhere, basically. And this two pilots died. The Eurofighter could land badly broken, but they managed to land it. But the Learjet came down like 300 meters from a house.
Fucking hell.
From a little settlement. Now, the German Bundeswehr, when Luftwaffe belongs to the Bundeswehr, put on their website that the plane crashed in an uninhabited area. Now, if you look at images, you can see like pieces of the plane lying on a road.
See a car driving past.
Yeah, you can see how close the crash is to the village.
Well, I mean, I suppose they're not going to say anything else, are they? They're not going to come out and go, we nearly killed a lot of people today.
We've always been at war with Eurasia. What do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I mean, so did they know what exactly happened? Why it came down? I don't know. Just because
not yet.
Collision?
No, yeah, it was a collision with the Eurofighter.
But I wonder what caused the collision. Just this.
Well, what they do is the Learjet flies, and then they have two Eurofighters flanking it, and basically they're giving the pilot hand signs to land, and then they try to force them. And I'm guessing the other pilot is making it hard for them because it's and they're probably clipped. At that speed, like a Eurofighter basically can't fly slow. No. Which is why they use the Learjet. I think Learjet's pretty fast as well. I think they just clipped it. It came down. Apparently, they do this every week. They said on TV. Like, I'm happy I'm not living near like fucking Ramstein AFB or whatever, or like a German airbase. But there's one relatively close to me. There's Steinhuder Meer. There's a Flieger.
Make sure you keep an eye on the sky. And make sure.
Yeah, I will. I'm actually getting prepared. I haven't talked to you about this, but I'm taking up my project again. I will, if everything goes according to plan, within the year, do my ham radio license.
Ah, cool.
So it's actually.
You're going to say pilot license then. I was going to say for a guy who doesn't like flying, that would be interesting.
I don't have that money. That amount of money. Motorbike is enough, but I'm going to do the ham license. I already learned for it in the UK. Now the problem is in Germany, the questions are harder. And yeah, we've got a little bit stricter rules, but I'm gonna do this, and I have to learn a little bit other stuff, but I'm working on it. And I actually have a friend who's gonna lend me a radio. He's got a handheld, small 270 meter radio. It's not much power. It's like 5 watts or something. But I can't use it now. Apparently, this is weird. In the UK, if I understand it correctly, the regulations are like if you don't have a call sign, you don't have your license, you can have a radio and you can listen to stuff. You just can't key the mic. That would be illegal. Now in Germany, turning on the radio means you're operating a transceiver, and is already illegal. Also, funny thing is, in Germany, I think this might be the same in the UK, you're not allowed to listen to ATC, air traffic control radio signals.
Yeah.
Because they're under the telecommunications secrecy thing. It's just like telephone calls.
Unless you work for a national newspaper, and then you can listen to any phone calls you want.
Well, I think you can't, but you can just do it. I mean,
it was a joke. Yeah,
you're not allowed to scan. You listen to police radio. They use digital radio, but they don't encrypt. Usually, only the criminal police encrypts. But journalists do that all the time anyway. And I've got an airport right here. Like Hanover Airport is the landing. They're just like 400 meters from my house is where the planes go down. Well, not where they touch down, but this is where they approach us. So
Yeah, I mean,
I have to be careful not to tune into the wrong.
The wrong frequency. Yeah. So they did. Obviously, I'm making like phone hacking jokes there, but they did say on. I promise I won't go back into the World Cup Outlaws for anybody. He's like, no. But you lied to me. Anyway, no, they were saying this morning. I was listening to the Guardian Football Weekly, and they just one of the little lines they said, which I found really funny, was the Italian national team proves that unlike Andy Coulson, they can't hack it at the World Cup.
Oh, wow.
That was pretty good.
You were talking about the World Cup again. Reaction from our listeners. Wow. That's Eli Wallach again, by the way. Yeah. So I'm getting that project started up again. I need to get the call sign.
Breaker.
We need that. Yeah. No, that's CB, but yeah.
Oh, sorry. Well, yeah.
CQ.
Sorry. Close enough. Close enough for me. I'm not a ham guy, But you have to when you get your call sign, you'll have to let us know what it is, and then people can, listeners can find you.
Well, certainly. I'm going to have a very, very small, radio at the beginning, but I certainly can use it.
So
with repeaters, you can talk to. Yeah, so
very cool. Something last week, Amazon had their big announcement, and I knew the announcement was happening because we did Floss Weekly on Twitter, and we had to do it earlier, and they were like rushing us to finish because they wanted to go to this Amazon thing, which is cool. That's their job and all that. And everybody expected it to be a phone. They were like, "Oh, it's going to be a phone! It's going to be a phone!" And everybody was nuts. And people were saying basically, "Oh, it's going to be a phone," and they told all the information and so on. And then other people saying, "No, you're wrong. It's not going to be a phone." And then guess what?
It's going to be a dildo.
Yeah. It's guess what? It's a phone, and they're calling it the Fire Phone, and it's going to be an Android phone, obviously. To be honest, they've got the Kindle Fire, as we know, which is an Android tablet. They've got their own Amazon App Store for that, which they've been working on. So this isn't a great surprise to me.
No, and this 3D display they were hyping, it's just parallax. It's not 3D, it's 3D is stereoscopic, so you have two images.
Yeah, you'd have to have two phones, one on each eye. Put one phone on each eye.
So what this is, they're actually iPad games that do this. It actually tracks where you are. Well, the iPad games just do it with the motion sensor, but it says 4 cameras, which even more ways for the NSA to track you. And it tracks your eyes, and it just basically shifts if you move the phone. It shifts the graphics so it looks like perspective. It's basically faked 3D is what it is. I've got no idea what you would do that for. It's got this amazing feature which everybody says is so amazing, which is called Firefly, which I'm pissed off at.
Yeah.
Which basically the cameras, if you turn it on, well, only if you turn it on, wink, wink, they basically see everything. If they see a barcode, they go, "Oh, you want to buy that on Amazon?"
Yeah.
It's like play it's like Shazam, and it's like if you're watching TV, it's like, "Oh, this is the IMDb page for what you're listening to," because that's not creepy at all.
Yeah, I mean, why would you want that? I don't get it. I mean, to be fair, I do seem to spend a lot of my life when I'm watching, as everyone does, when I'm watching films or TV programs, going, "Was that guy in so and so?" and like looking them up on IMDb. But I want to choose whether I'm going to look it up on IMDb.
I mean, it's not
I don't
that
want the
hard.
phone deciding for me what I'm going to do. So.
Just type in Eli Wallach into Google, and IMDb comes up. I mean, that's not that hard. And also, I mean, this is the perfect spy device for one thing, but it's like, this is just creepy. I don't want to buy everything on Amazon. It's like, "Oh, you can scan that." And they were like scanning a bottle of Nutella. And they're like, "Oh, this is Nutella. You can buy this on Amazon." Yes, also around the corner in the store. It's like, okay, I like Amazon. I like buying stuff at Amazon. I bought stuff at Amazon today, in fact. But it's like,
Was it Nutella?
No,
Wasn't
headphones.
Nutella?
It was
Right,
headphones. I'm not like, I don't
You know
want
you
to
can get Nutella on Amazon if you want. My phone just told me. My phone just told me you can get that on Amazon.
It's just, I don't know. I don't see this phone. It's not that cheap. It's apparently the brightest display in the world, which just makes me think, "Oh my God, the goggles, they do nothing."
It makes me think of this what's his name? There's a Rod Gilbert, the comedian, Welsh comedian. He does a thing. He says he's going camping and he's buying gear for his camping trip, and the woman tries to sell him a torch with the light of 1,000,000 candles or something, and he says to her, "How do you know what or 100,000 candles, whatever it is, the brightness of like 1,000,000 candles?" But how does anybody know? When has anybody got 1,000,000 candles together to measure whether this torch was as good? And he said, "And I've never been in a situation where I've been looking for something and it's dark and I'm going, oh, I've got like 10,000 candles here, but it's just not bright enough. What I really need is another 900,000 candles. Then I could find what I was looking for." It's just, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
So, it's going to be $199 apparently, starting price.
Nobody cares.
It
Especially
also comes with Amazon Prime membership, apparently, for a year.
It's a glorified shopping cart. Basically, what they need to do is, if they put this out for free, or like, with Amazon Prime membership, you get one. Then
that's true. If you got one with Prime membership, that would make more sense.
I think they're going to get there at some point, but they're just not there yet.
Yeah, it will probably this. Yeah, Firefly. I don't know. I'm not sure whether I like. I mean, we've talked about. I don't know. I like the idea of it. It will, if you it will try and sell you all kinds of things like tickets to concerts if it hears you listening to a certain bit of music.
You walk by somebody listening to Justin Bieber, and you're like, "Would you like to?" No. No, I wouldn't. It's fucking. You know what it is? It's clippy as a phone.
It's clippy as a. Yeah, it is actually.
Clippy phone.
It looks like you're trying to buy Nutella.
Yeah.
Can I help you with that?
That's Firefly.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Uh-huh.
At least got that.
Nice mix. I was waiting for the nice remix there. So today, in fact, I believe the Google I/O conference has been going on. You've been keeping an eye on things. So what's happening there?
It just ended before the show. Before we started the show, so I looked at what was going on. So the Amazon phone was immediately killed. The buzz was immediately killed by Google. Oh. For that.
Oh, hello.
Immediately killed by Google. Who came out with And what they're doing now is they do it like Apple, where they will give out the new the developer version of the new Android version like starting tomorrow, and that'll be released in the fall or in autumn. So that developers can start working the new features into the apps, which kind of makes sense. It makes sense how Apple does that. New Android version, they didn't name it; they just called it Android L. They were at pains not to mention the name. Probably they don't have a dessert with L right now.
I suspect they're trying to do a deal with Nestle or someone. As they did with
probably. It doesn't have a number yet, so we don't know what number.
Bar. Sorry, no, I was trying to think of something beginning with L. It could be Lion Bar. That's the only one I could think of. Sorry.
So no, we don't know that. It's going to be 64-bit.
Cool. Okay.
That's something. More than 3 gig of RAM. Of course, that means more than, Yeah.
Well, I was going to say you'd need the 64-bit, for the more than 3 gig of RAM. Battery historian, what's that? Is that is that better than the kind of battery profiling shit they've got now that tells me?
I don't know.
How shit my battery is.
Yeah, basically that. It tells you how shit your battery is and why, like what apps are wasting. Now, look, this is typical Google approach. It's so different than Apple. Like, if Apple has the problem that your phone's running out of battery because apps are just running wild, what Apple does is they will change their OS so apps can't do that. Right? What Google does is they give you a screen that tells you what apps are misbehaving, so you can, I guess, uninstall them.
Kill them or whatever,
right. It's a battery historian.
Okay, interesting.
Notes to you, kid.
The dev image apparently is going to be available from tomorrow, as we're recording this, which is the 25th of June. Tomorrow is the 26th of June on the Nexus 5 and the Nexus 7. It doesn't say anything about the Nexus 10, which is annoying because I've got one of those, and I'm thinking maybe they've decided they're going to supersede that with something else.
No, I think this is only the dev image. I don't think you want the dev image either.
True.
It's really just for developers. They've got new unlock features. You will be able to unlock the device with your voice and with a smartwatch that is near.
So does that mean someone like a really good impressionist could unlock your phone? So
Ralph Garman can unlock.
I'd like to unlock my phone.
Yeah,
no, I wouldn't.
You can unlock
yeah, exactly.
Or,
Ooh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Come on now. Yeah. Okay. That means like Rory Bremner and people like that are going to be really dangerous. Very interesting. They're developing I can't talk. Google are currently developing technology to separate your personal and business apps apparently.
Yeah, like
from 4.0 on.
Knox in Samsung basically. So I think it's like kernel containers.
Jails. Similar to jails and all that.
Interestingly, they will ship security updates via the Play Store, not via the normal over-the-air update, where you have to restart your phone.
Okay.
Probably will still have to restart your phone, but they'll.
I was just thinking, you still have to restart the phone, yeah.
Google Wear, their first smartwatches, you can pre-order them from Samsung tomorrow. They look like shit. They're huge clunkers. Like one of the guys was wearing it through the keynote. He's got this huge thing hanging off his wrist, like very surreptitiously in every like shot where they show his hands, and it's like, I mean, there's one thing if you have a Rolex, like if you have a huge, like I'm a watch aficionado, right? And if you buy really expensive watches, there's the huge version and there's the smaller one. And I got the smaller one. Well, I didn't buy this watch. I got it as a present, but I got the smaller one because I have really small arms. But most people buy these huge because I've got a Rolex. Look at my Rolex. Yeah. It looks really shit. And this Android, this whatever watch on Samsung is even bigger. It's like your Flavor Flav. It's on your wrist, but it looks like you had an iPad strapped to his fucking wrist.
In that case, just get a like a neck strap and do a proper Flavor Flav. Just wear it around your neck. Yeah.
Yeah, so
you can tell
it's
people what time it is.
well, it's going to be apparently the OS, the Android Wear, the Google Wear thing is all based on Google Plus cards, which is creepy. Google Plus is creepy. Like the one time at band camp, I stuck a flute in my pussy. No, I rented a car and I'm like driving to Heise and I'm getting out of the car and I walk into the building. I look at my phone and Google now tells me where I parked my car. And like I hadn't driven a car in a month. It was like the first day. Probably noticed the way I was moving. The phone was moving. It's like, oh, he's driving a car. This is like the most.
Yeah, I find that quite. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd want that, to be honest. I don't use Google now at the moment because it's all a bit too big brother.
I think, but if you have it on your watch, I think you will have to use it.
Well, I'm not getting a watch, so fuck that.
No, but I think this means that it'll be also very integrated in Android in the next version. I think they're moving to where you can't turn this off. There's only one viable smartwatch I've actually seen. I've actually seen one, which I don't know if it was a prototype or an actual product you could buy. But it was basically a mechanical watch that had like a semi-transparent screen overlaid onto it, which had all the smartwatch features. So even if that runs out of battery, you still have a normal mechanical watch.
Yeah.
I think it was from a high-end watchmaker. That looked kind of cool, but everything else.
I can see the attraction of that. Yeah.
I don't get the smartwatch thing. I mean, the problem you have, lots of people don't have watches. I think you're one of those people, right? And they carry
people can't see, but I know have a watch.
They carry around their phone, and then the phone runs out of battery, and it's shit.
And then I asked, I asked them what time it is.
Yeah, and now you have a watch on your wrist, and you have the same problem. I mean, what's wrong with a normal fucking watch? What's wrong with that?
I don't know. I haven't worn a watch in years, to be honest. And to be honest, I was never a big watch guy anyway. I had like the cheapest digital watch I could get because I don't really want to know what time it is. I'd rather have an excuse.
I'm a watch aficionado.
Have an excuse for not knowing what time it is. So when I'm late or something, I can just go, I'm sorry, I don't know what time it is.
That's the watch. I've got this will run without power. You don't need a battery. It'll work in space. It's amazing. Space.
Uh-huh. I mean, I can see why people are into them. It's just not my kind of thing. I really don't want to know what time it is.
You're not German. You don't bother. You're like
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I'm late. Who cares? I'm German. Yeah. I'm 3 seconds behind. I'm 3 seconds behind schedule.
Yeah.
And the fucking train is behind schedule as well. This is outrageous.
Yeah, I don't take that attitude. I'll get there when I get there. Much more, actually, it's probably a bit more of a French attitude. They're very fuck it, we'll do it when we do it, kind of thing.
You know what just occurred to me? Mm-hmm. If we get the new Android version, we can never ever use the voice unlock.
Oh yeah, good point.
Because our voice is out there.
Mm-hmm. Well, presumably nobody can. Well, not nobody, but if anybody who's recorded stuff and it's in the public domain couldn't reliably use this, which is a lot of people.
They could just unlock my phone with playing an LO episode.
What would happen? I don't know. I wonder what would happen, right? No, I suppose it wouldn't work. I was going to say, if you were to get your phone and someone else's phone, and you wanted to unlock their phone, so what you did was ring them on your phone, so you got their voicemail, and then held the voicemail to the other thing, so it went, oh, that's them, and then unlocked. Is that a serious problem?
Because you just came up with the brilliant.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that's the hack right there. Yeah. Anyway. So let's see if that works.
It took us what 10 minutes to find the security flaw with this. Thank you, Google. We'll be sending you the bill. Although this wasn't quite responsible disclosure.
No, probably not. Although it's not out yet anyway.
Well, it's on YouTube. It's gone right through Google. They should know.
True. Maybe it's been censored out of there. So we got some stuff with cars as well. Android connection to cars. Apparently, what's that? And the apps run on the phone, which makes sense. But how are they going to connect to your car?
I don't know. I don't care.
Okay. They've got a new design on their desktop and mobile apps, apparently.
Well, this is very interesting. If you go to google.com/design, they have a whole new design thing, which I think will go... Well, this will affect Android. This is for all their apps, yeah.
That's like a slap in the face. It's very, very colourful.
Yeah, with IKEA style.
Oof. Yeah.
The most important thing is they have, it's called material design. Android apps will now have different layers. You will define if an UI element is above another.
Okay.
Which it will render that with like shadows and stuff. So if you have nodes or something in an app, they will be stacked atop of each other, and then if you flick the top ones away, it'll like render them with shadows, so it looks like they're on top of each other. I don't know. I haven't looked into this in detail. They just announced it. So
cool. Yeah. I'm gonna have a look at this. I'm looking at their. Mind you, no, it says it it says it works on Linux. I'm looking at their web designer thing. Web designer beta. It's a tool they've made for encouraging people to do HTML5 websites. That could be interesting. I haven't done enough HTML5. Where are we up to? I've lost my notes. Android TV. Did you mention that as well? Android TV.
Oh no, that's the other thing. I think this is Switzerland's leading 2-0.
They were before, yeah.
And the other game's still 0-0. This is what they're doing is basically Chromecast. It's kind of a thing. I don't know. It's something you attach to your TV, I'm guessing, but the whole paradigm is that you will play stuff on your Android device and send it to your TV, and the TV is just a dumb screen, I guess.
That's happening with a lot of things now, anyway.
Well, Google's been trying this for ages. Google TV, which flopped, and now they just call it Android TV.
And they got Chromecast and all that to get you to try and do that. We've actually got a question from the IRC. Once again, World Cup Outlaws is rearing its head. Somebody who says, I'm not listening, but does Fab agree that it would be a good idea for Germany to rest their best players tomorrow? So I don't know.
No.
Yes or no will do. No.
Answer, this is not feasible. All our players are excellent.
Excellent, okay.
I'm not in the ISC, sorry. But,
that's fine. Anyway, so not everything's been rosy at the Google I/O conference. They've had a lot of problems with protesters who are upset about Google's increasing grip on...
Apparently they had a lot of protesters in front of it, which they didn't show anybody, they didn't report, but they also had 2 people stand up during the keynote. A woman who had a shirt and said, you need to develop a conscience, Google. And another guy who later got up and shouted, you all work for a totalitarian company that builds robots that kill people, wake the fuck up.
Wow.
I have to agree. I have to say I don't agree on the totalitarian. Also, by definition, a company can't be totalitarian. Guy doesn't know what totalitarian mean, but I think we get his drift.
I was going to say, I think you catch his
But
point,
yes, they do. They have bought a company that designs robots that kill people. That is true.
Yeah, but we've talked about this before. Samsung make robots that kill people.
Yeah, but Samsung's corporate motto isn't "Don't be evil."
Well,
I believe Samsung's corporate motto is "Fuck everybody over and make a shitload of money."
Kill, die.
Honest.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand because Google has this whole fluffy image and they're amazing and they're great. Well, that's what they say. Of course, they don't have that image in the media, especially in Germany. Very wary of Germany, of Google in general. Yeah.
Sorry, I was replying on the IRC there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think, as I said, I mean, I'm not surprised Google doing this. I mean, Samsung have been making robots that kill people with machine guns on them, that kill poor people who are trying to escape North Korea, not just any people, for 10 years nearly. So, you know, and we all still have Samsung devices.
Google wants to get into that game as well.
Yeah, there's an app for that, and there will be soon.
There's a Google Now card for that. Would you like to kill some brown people?
Exactly. Yeah. You
Okay,
choose.
Google. Okay, Google, kill some brown people.
It just emits like a virus or something. So a mere hour-ish into the show, our first real kind of meaty Linux
Let's talk about
story
the World Cup.
is Let's talk more about the World Cup. Yeah, is that Sabian, the pretty popular Linux distribution, is dropping support for 32-bit devices and x86 and all that's going to go. They're going to do 64-bit only, which is interesting because I mean it's probably not that. I was going to say it's a really brave kind of move, but it's not really, because I think so many people use 64-bit devices now. Most devices you buy are 64-bit.
All, I would say.
Pretty much.
Except some ARM stuff.
Okay, so there's going to be some older machines and some other machines that won't be able to handle it, but there can't be that many around these days. I mean, maybe it's not that kind of brave.
And to be honest, Sabian was never a distro you run on old machines.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like pretty heavy and got like everything under the sun on there. It's designed for like cutting edge. It's designed for people like Bling, to be honest.
Yeah, true.
Swag,
yeah. So they're not going to have a 64-bit version of their next. Sorry, it's a 32-bit version of their next release. That's interesting. So they're deprecating it all. Where else have we got?
Long-term support for Debian 6 has been set up.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it coming.
Yeah. Debian's so ubiquitous, that it doesn't surprise me. Speaking of support, support for things with 6 in the version number, Drupal, a project that we both love, the open source PHP CMS, that's going to get Drupal 6 is going to get extended support because it's still used in a lot of places actually. It's I mean I think, to be honest, I built a lot of sites with Drupal 6 in recent years, and I'm fairly certain quite a few people are still using them, the clients that I built them for, although we're not in contact now. So they're coming out of Drupal 8, which is going to be it's going to be out. That means
next
often
year, I think.
Often they would kind of deprecate all this stuff, and stop support, but they're going to keep it going. It says
3 more months, I think.
Yeah, they're gonna. It's gonna get longer support than any of the previous stable versions. They've come up with a new policy, and it's created to prevent the core and any module maintainers from having to maintain more than 2 active major versions of Drupal. So the idea was that because Drupal hasn't released that, it's not exactly racing the releases out. They come out every few years, major versions. But the idea was that if you've made you're a contributor, you've made a contrib module. You don't want to necessarily support a version that works on Drupal 8, Drupal 7, Drupal 6, Drupal 5, Drupal 4, because they could all be different. So really, you just have to maintain 2 is the idea. So it would be Drupal 8 and Drupal 7 once Drupal 7's out, but they're actually going to keep Drupal 6 as well, so that will be 3 for a little bit longer. This is during the transition period. So they're saying, we'll transition to unsupported status 3 months after Drupal 8 is released. So it gives people a bit of time to port stuff and so on, which is cool, I suppose. I mean, it's very popular. It's a very popular platform, so I'm not surprised. Of course, it's always up to the maintainers what they want to do as well. They don't have to, they could support as many Drupal versions as they want. They're just not bound to do that by any kind of policies or anything. So that's cool. What else have we got? We have Android 4.4. All the 4s. 4.4.4 was released. I think I installed this the other day on my phone on the Nexus 5, and I haven't noticed really any differences so
because
far.
There's no difference.
I haven't probably looked at.
It's pretty much only an OpenSSL fix.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
One of the ones we talked about on the show. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
Then the X Windows system turned 30.
Scary.
Like yesterday or something. It's nearly as old as I am.
It's
June 1984.
Wow. So I mean that's pretty impressive, and we're still using it. Well, until Wayland Wayland takes off and other things or whatever you believe in, Mia, if you believe in that, it's still, it's still around everywhere. It's quite scary. It's quite scary that it's still around. Still doing its thing. N2, we got some security stuff. We talked a lot about TrueCrypt because of the developers kind of calling it a day and saying they weren't going to support it anymore. Then they need to audit it and so on.
Yes, exactly. One of the guys who's on the Open Crypto audit team, I talked about him, Matthew Green, professor from Johns Hopkins, who's talked to the developers before, and he asked one of them what would happen if they could get the code, if they could put on another license, and the developer, it wasn't a long answer, but basically said, "I'm sorry, but I think what you're asking for here is impossible. I don't feel that forking TrueCrypt would be a good idea. A complete rewrite was something we wanted to do for a while. I believe that starting from scratch wouldn't require much more work than actually learning and understanding all of TrueCrypt's current code base. I have no problem with the source being used as a reference."
Okay.
So I'm guessing that German company that's doing that open source version is a bit fucked.
Well, maybe.
And also the commercial version they have.
Oh yeah, now that's fucked. The commercial version, yeah, their business model's kind of screwed by that. That's pretty bad.
There was a vulnerability that was reported at the end of last year in September, October. In Android's key store, which stores all the signing keys, obviously very important. That was reported by some guys at IBM. Google fixed it. The fix was actually shipped with Android 4.0. So everything 4.3 and younger and older, I mean, is vulnerable, but 4.0 has already been... No, 4.4, sorry. 4.4 was the fixed release. Everything before that, so 4.3 and older, is vulnerable. And they just came out with this now because they wanted... Because they say...
Well, after the release.
No, but the
4.4 release.
No, it's not the 4.4. 4.4, which was in November last year or something.
Okay.
But they say the ecosystem is so fragmented and takes people so long to get the updates. Yeah,
okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, the delay is ridiculous. If you've got a, I don't know, a phone from, I'm trying to think of an example, say O2 or someone who do their own image of Android, you're going to be waiting a long time for those updates, I would imagine. So moving on, the Text Secure messaging app, which it sends encrypted messages and so on. That's been funded by the Knight Foundation, who they give out quite a lot of money to different things. They've given $416,000 US to Open Whisper Systems, which is the people who are working on it, developers who are working on it, and they're trying to complete their iOS app apparently for the product right now. They also want to develop a desktop app.
I don't have the theme, but the Knight Foundation.
Yeah, exactly, Michael Knight. Yeah.
And this is the iOS version. We talked about this when I wrote about when WhatsApp got bought by Facebook. And they had this big hype. They said, "Oh yeah, it's going to be out next week. We're working on it." Yeah, that was months ago.
That doesn't really surprise me.
And now they need like $400,000 or something to work on it.
Yeah. I mean that. Yeah, that's really not surprising.
I'm thinking that wasn't even remotely ready back then.
I was going to play a bit of the Knight Rider theme tune there, but Google, YouTube's given me a 30-second advert, which is not going to let me skip. So fuck that then.
What? An unskippable 30 seconds? Wow.
Yeah, it's been doing that to me a lot lately, so it's becoming less and less useful.
Well, it's I haven't had that a lot, but then I can't watch anything because of Gamer. So.
Well, all we seem to get is adverts, so you're not missing that much. Unless you like adverts, I suppose.
Well, at least you get to see the clip after the advert.
True. Although I've closed it now because I couldn't. In disgust, I closed it. I wasn't happy about that. All right, and so where are we up to? Oh yes,
Boring
SSL.
SSL.
Google's
is-
own SSL library.
Yeah, it's kind of a fork. They use OpenSSL code and implement stuff on top of it that they say that the OpenSSL team didn't want to include for various reasons. But they're saying they're still funding OpenBSD for their fork LibreSSL, and they're still working with the OpenSSL guys, and they'll provide patches upstream. But this is basically, apparently they had in-house an in-house version for a while, and they're just now open sourcing this. Because why not? Makes sense.
Yeah.
This is Imperial Violet. Oh God, I forgot his real name.
I don't know.
This is not loading. Wow. Everything's fucked.
I'm trying to load the website. Yeah, everything's
Adam
done.
Langley, who is he's a security guy at Google. He does their SSL shit. He's also a bit old SSL. He's a contributor to anything SSL basically.
Very cool. We got this is interesting. Nokia apparently. This has come to light recently. Back in
come to light.
Yeah. Back in the mists of time in 2007, the end of 2007, they lost their keys, their private encryption key, they were using to sign all the code and encrypt it and so on. And it was taken by a blackmailer who blackmailed them for what they're saying is millions of euros. Apparently, and they paid this because they didn't really have a choice.
Yeah.
But obviously they kept it quiet.
Well, they went to the federal police in Finland.
But it's still unsolved. The case
like one of those TV things where they meet in a park in Tampere, and but the guy got away, and the federal police was able to track him. So money was gone, but apparently never leaked. These were the signing keys to Symbian. So you could have just signed app updates or malware, and
Yeah, I mean, it does sound very much like a film or something. I mean, they went to an amusement park, and the money was left in a bag.
Yeah.
In the parking lot, as they say.
The money like an episode of the Letzte Bulle.
Yeah, the money was left in a bag, and then obviously they were hoping to catch whoever the person was when they came to collect the money. But somehow they managed to fuck it up, and the blackmailer took the bag, and they couldn't find them. So, I don't know who that was, but yeah, pretty impressive.
There's an episode of the Letzte Bulle where Mick and his partner they get blackmailed, and they keep going there and giving the guy money, and this is never
they can't catch him.
The guy always gets away with the money, and then once more.
I mean, millions of euros in a bag? Seriously, how big is this bag? It would have to be sizable.
No, back then, was it already euros? Okay, so there would have been 500 euro notes.
Oh, so
you can get a lot of money, and
fair point. Yeah.
That's why they used to use Deutsche Mark. This is actually a fact. Criminals used to like Deutsche Mark because we had 1,000 mark notes, which nobody else had. Which the Americans, for example, don't have. So you could actually get a lot of money in quite a small thing. Of course, it would be like it was always suspicious if somebody had 1,000 mark note. Like my father had like in some occasions when he bought a car, like he had like 3 or 4. And it's like the joke is always like, oh, you just printed them, did you? And it's not actually the same with the 500 euro notes. This is why criminals like to use the euro and not the dollar. Because the 500 euro note.
Yeah, you get a lot more money in it. That's a good point. I never thought of that, actually.
That one looks funky, by the way. It's like violet. It's like pink. It's like,
Yeah. I'm trying to get we can get a picture up or something. But I don't think I've ever seen a 500 euro note. I've seen
one. They look funky.
Okay. I haven't had cause to need one so far. It would be a bit weird to have that much money in one note. I don't But I suppose makes sense.
Well, if you're robbing banks, it's damn handy. Or
That's true.
if you're extorting Nokia, I put a picture in the show notes.
Oh, there was a thing. What am I thinking of now? There was like a problem recently. Securicore vans, where they take the money out. What was it?
3-0 Switzerland.
Yeah, so I didn't think Switzerland were very good in the last few games, but they, maybe they were just playing better teams.
Yeah, you were saying Securicore.
Oh, something about. Do you know what? I can't even remember the story properly now. But I heard of a robbery. Yeah, you're gonna laugh at this now. I heard recently of a robbery of was it Tesco now? There was a Tesco near where a friend of mine lives, and he went down there to get something. I don't know, and the shop was closed. And Tesco's like open 24 hours. This one is anyway. And he was like, well, what the fuck's going on? And it turned out that someone had robbed a van that took all the money in and out. But the weird thing is, right, he said he was talking to some guy there, and he said, well, why don't they just get them off the CCTV? And the guy said, oh, well, actually, this is the only area where there's no CCTV. This one. So there's this bit where after they come out of the shop and they get out of the garage door, there's no CCTV in that bit of the car park. And that's where the fucking money goes in and out. So somebody obviously knew that. Somebody learnt that and knew that that was the place to hit it, and then they hit it and they took it away. But the reason I was amazed, I was thinking, I didn't think anybody did like armed robbery like that these days, or bank jobs. I thought that was like, something from the 70s. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I have an alibi, by the way. In case anyone's interested, I have a cast iron alibi for that evening.
Where's that shop again?
Yeah, exactly. So, let's move on anyway from that. Oh yes, you put the note.
Money vanishing into the air.
Yeah. Okay. So, actually, I got an email from Ubuntu One, which we talked about. Their cloud storage is being ended, and I got an email off them the other day saying, please remember to to copy your stuff off Ubuntu One by the end of July because they're going to delete everything. And I don't think I actually had anything on there.
Me
that was
neither.
the thing. Yeah.
Never used it, but I want to tell people in case you do.
Yeah, it's a good idea. If you've got obviously if you've got anything in there, we talked about a while ago about Ubuntu One's file storage stuff being cloud storage stuff going away. So if you've got anything on there, they're going to delete everything by the end of July. So get it off.
Stewart Language's legacy being deleted off the internet.
Yeah, that's a shame. I think actually the only files I might have in there might be I bought a couple of albums off the music store,
yeah.
Ubuntu One music store, and it actually automatically put them into Ubuntu One, so maybe they're still on there, but it's not like I haven't copied them off, so that's okay. A couple of stories left to mention. What's this next one? Google's SPDY.
Speedy. That's the HTTP replacement. They've
become an Apache project, a part of the Apache Foundation.
This is Mod Speedy. That's the server part. Chrome uses this. If you use Chrome and you connect to a server that supports Speedy, it will use Speedy because it's more speedy. Andale!
And Arriba! Speedy Gonzalez. I always like Speedy Gonzalez. I can't do a Mexican voice or anything. The only voice I can do is Speedy Gonzalez when I try and do Mexican.
Well, that's good.
Senor, I am Speedy.
That's exactly what the coach sounds like. Have you seen that guy? That's weird. The small guy.
Yeah.
Call him, oh God.
The one with the bald head. Is this the Mexican guy? Yeah.
No. He's not bald. He's very small.
Really? The Mexican coach. He's got like a shaved head.
No. He's got hair.
Has he?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm looking.
He's called. And I need to look up what this animal is called in English.
Oh, sorry. No, I'm thinking of another guy. I'm thinking of a different guy.
Yeah.
I do know who you mean now. Yeah. He went nuts when they scored, didn't he? Yeah, I know the guy. Miguel Herrera. Yeah.
What's his? I need to know what this English. They call him the Laos.
Oh, right, nice. That's not a particularly doesn't sound like a particularly flattering nickname.
No, it's Mexicans.
The thing is, though, I mean, all right, warning, we're getting back into World Cup Outlaws again. But Mexico have had four or five managers since the last in the last year or something, or the last 2 years. They've had like 5 managers. So the guy's lucky to be in his job for more than like 2 months.
Hector Miguel Herrera. No, that's not
Miguel
him.
Herrera, yeah. That's who I've got, yeah.
What? No, that's not him.
It is.
Got a different picture.
Oh, well, I've got a picture of him. It says Miguel Herrera, yeah, Mexico. I just typed Mexico coach, and that was all I had to type in to Google it.
Wikipedia article, I think.
Oh, okay.
Miguel Ernesto Herrera. No, that's not him. What?
Surprisingly, there's a lot of Miguel Herrera
Current
around.
manager of the Mexican national football team. Yeah, that's him. Miguel Ernesto Herrera Aguirre.
He's known for his crazy reactions, so they score a goal and he he throws himself on the floor and starts rolling around and
did he blow the guy?
Yeah. I think he's cool. Also, the goalie, Ochoa, whatever he's called, he ran like half the length of the pitch to hug the manager, and
it says here Herrera is commonly referred to by his nickname Piojo, Spanish for louse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So, did you say pee-hole? Pee-hole is Spanish for louse.
Piejo.
Louse. Oh, Piejo.
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 El Piejo.
Mm-hmm. That'll be interesting for the Spanish-speaking listeners then.
Hi, Jibby.
Yeah. So finally, Opera 24 has been released. I didn't know. I mean, I don't use Opera, but I didn't know where they were up to in the the battle of browser version numbers. Because obviously you've got like Chrome's on 30 something, is it now? And I think Firefox is on 30 something as well. Opera up to 24. They need to step on the gas and just renumber their shit. But there's a new version out now.
Their shit.
Yeah. So they've released a Linux version of Opera 24. With the new webcap. I can't speak. It's WebKit based, as you'd expect, much like Chrome, I think, and also everything but Firefox, basically. Is pretty, maybe Internet Explorer. So it says, many of us at Opera can't speak. Many of us at Opera use Linux as our primary platform, and it's great to be able to try out the newest developments of Opera on Linux once again. So adding Linux to our browser line fulfills an important. This is obviously their spokesman. Adding Linux to our browser line fulfills an important part of Opera's vision to shape an open, connected world. With a proprietary browser. We want everyone to have, Chrome's a proprietary browser, technically. We want everyone to have a fast, safe access to the web. Adding Linux opens more possibilities of running machines with open source operating system. Fair enough. Well, that's cool. I mean, I haven't really used Opera, but I know people who like it and swear by it.
Yeah, the funny thing is that they never really said it, but they basically said there's never going to be a Linux version again.
Mm.
And then suddenly,
surprise.
I don't know. This is weird. Is anybody ever using Opera? This is just...
As I say, I did know a few people used it, but not in recent years. I think since Chrome's become, a series. Since Chrome came out, so obviously Firefox was around a lot longer. I think a lot of people use Chrome now or something else. Back in the days when it was only Internet Explorer, Firefox in its early incarnations, and Opera, I think a lot of people used Opera pretty much. But now they've changed, and then they had the Opera Mini, was it, or the mobile one, which was sending all of your data through their server, which was a bit strange.
Sorry, I'm just looking. I looked for images for this Laos guy.
Oh no!
And I found the best page ever. I'm gonna put this in the show notes. This animated GIFs. This is from Slate.com. You're gonna click.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
No, there's one where they photoshopped his hair. His hair starts burning and his lightning bolts coming out of it. Oh my god!
Wow.
Wow.
Awesome. Sounds good.
This is so amazing. You just have to look at that. Have you seen it?
The most gift-worthy man at the World Cup.
The last GIF. Wait, where they looks like Dragon Ball Z.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
Oh God,
That's impressive. Whoever's done that, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
This is going right in the show notes.
He is a crazy guy. I'm gonna give him that. All right then. So where are we up to?
Oh Twitter now supports animated GIFs, doesn't it? Or GIFs.
GIFs, yeah.
This means I can tweet this now.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
That
worry
is
about
really
me.
good.
Go on with the show.
Well, we're actually up to the bit where you need to play a bit of music in between.
We don't have music anymore.
Oh, we don't have. So okay, fair enough. So we're into the feedback then, which, to be honest, is probably going. Well, considering the time and how late it is and so on, I've been too lazy, stroke busy to do most of the emails this week. So it's going to be
and too busy at the same time.
At the same time. So it's they're not mutually exclusive apparently. So so it's going to be a shorter feedback session, which is probably a blessing, which gives us more time for more World Cup Outlaws, which I know everyone loves.
That's the most important.
But we have got some discussions that have been going on from the saloon. So I love the picture that you put in on the saloon, by the way. The picture of like the Loch Ness monster.
I was looking for Loch Ness Monster 350, and that turned up, and I thought it was amazing. So we had a feedback thread on that, which is interesting. People complaining about us playing L. Ron Hubbard, or laughing about it, which is NY Bill says, "Oh my, Mr. Hubbard is disturbing."
Why? I see people are like questioning. I think they've missed the point actually of in response to the show title. Why the fuck, basically it says, does the Loch Ness Monster need 350 anyway? I think you've missed the point of the joke there. You're not. Well, firstly, there's no such thing as a Loch Ness Monster. Sorry, in my opinion. Secondly, exactly why would you need 3? It's a joke, for fuck's sake. You know. Lots of people talking about it.
Hard.
Yep, people talking about it. So you can get onto the saloon to talk about that.
Well, and then we also have a fun thread about fucking in Austria.
Really? Okay.
Yep. Which is a town.
I see. Yeah.
It's called fucking. People English tourists keep stealing their.
I've heard about this. Yeah, I've heard about this place.
Actually, they made money out of this because they have a brewery and they make a beer that's called fucking hell. Because hell in German means light.
Oh, okay.
There's lots of beer that's called hell. You know, there's whatever brewery hell. You know, Krombacher Helles. You know, or Krombacher Hell. That happens, and they actually had to fight this in court because somebody sued them because they said you're offending people with your name, and they said, and the court said no. Their brewery is named like the town they're from, and hell means hell. We're in Austria or in Germany. We don't speak English here. It's hell is not a bad word here, and fucking's what the town's called. So go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
There was an interview with the mayor of the town. He's like, "This is childish people stealing."
Is he called the fucking mayor?
He is. He's like, I don't get this. This is not funny. This is what our town's called. Get over it.
Oh, he must have no sense of humor if he doesn't get that. That's quite funny.
Austrian.
Oh, true. Yeah, maybe.
He doesn't have a sense of humor.
There was a thing on, was it on QI or something? Anyway, it's been on loads of different things. It might have been some other TV program I was watching, but there's quite a few towns I'm sure lots of countries, but there's quite a few in the UK that their names have been banned from Facebook and other things because they see them as swearing or whatever. What? So there's one called effin, which is spelled like EFFIN, which is kind of like slang for effing, fucking. So there was this woman who had a campaign on Facebook to get effin recognized. When she tried to enter it as her, her place of birth or whatever, her hometown and stuff, they banned it as abusive language. So she wrote this big long thing, which is really funny. Which, to be fair, I think was a bit tongue in cheek, because her statement was like, you know, I am an effing woman. I've always been an effing woman. I'm proud of my status as an effing woman. That was very good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So you can get on there and have a look at that. Yeah. Apparently, what's this? He blames the British as well. It says, I love the fact he blames the British. It says the mayor blames the British for making it.
Keep stealing your fucking science.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's brilliant, though. They've got, like, the head of the local police there as well. So he's, like, the head of the fucking police. So that's brilliant. Oh, it's endless. It's endless. Cool. All right, and
should we do the rest of the? Should we do the feedback next week or something? We can do that.
Yeah, I will put them in. We have got emails, some of which I know you've replied to, which I haven't even replied to or read yet. Although I've seen them pop up. Yeah, we have got lots of emails. We'll do that next time. Don't worry, I promise. I wanted to finish with a song that actually is meant to be on the next Rat Hole Radio, which should have been done on Sunday, but as yet hasn't been recorded. I was going to record it tonight, but fuck that, I'm not going to do it now. It's going to be too late. So just to reinforce the fact that I'm not just slacking and not doing the LO email. I also am missing actually doing the podcast for Rat Hole Radio, but it will be out soon. And one of the songs that I want to play in the show is called "Madonna is a Corporate Whore," which I'll admit I was drawn to the title at first. I saw it on Jamendo, and Louis Ling and the Bombs is the band who I think we've played on this show before. Right? Yeah, and they're very good. They're a punk band, French punk band actually, which is a bit odd. I don't think of France has been a big punk place, but they're from France, and their song's called "Madonna is a Corporate Whore," and I think it's really cool. It's kind of catchy. It's punky, but it's also got this really catchy kind of thing going on as well, and it's very cool. And it's all about how much of a bitch Madonna is, basically. And I don't particularly hate Madonna. I mean, I'm indifferent, but I just like the song, so I figured why not. So there we go. Yeah. So we should probably play that then, and with that. Sign off. Let me get it back to the start, and we can do that. Anything else to say? World Cup Outlaws, where are we up to now? I think, are we on full time? Oh, here we go. Oh, 90 minutes. 90 minutes up in these games. So it looks like France are going to draw 0-0 with Ecuador, which is a bit mad. Maybe my prediction of France being really good was kind of...
Yeah, they just have Benzema. It's one of those things, they have one good player, and that's it.
I'm not sure I'd say that. They've got a few good players, but yeah. Anyway, where are we now? Honduras are losing 3-0 to Switzerland. So it looks like Switzerland and France are going out of that group. Going through out of that group, which is good because there aren't enough. They keep moaning about the fact the European teams are doing really badly in the South American World Cup. There's lots of South American teams and Central American teams and stuff doing well, but not so many European ones. So that's a couple more European teams through. Cool. All right, so let's have a listen to Louis Ling and the Bombs, and we'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back next week. And something I asked you about today, actually, which you may as well mention now, is I want to move the show back to another night. So we're looking at Mondays again, probably. For the regular shows, which will be good. So you can get used to Monday Night Outlaws again, hopefully.
Yep, that should work. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get out of here. See you next week. And stop stealing the fucking road signs.
That's what we do in this country. It seems to be. And in other countries, apparently. Oh, do you know what? I've pressed play and I haven't pushed the fader up, so I'm going to do that again. All right, and here we go. Take 2 with the fader up. Here you
fucking
go.
Hell.
Every one of us came to this earth for a purpose. We all have a destiny to fulfill. For a while, I was wallowing in a world of confusion.
To do. Get it even then if I wanted to. Wanna call me a hypocrite just cause I like a right bumping it. You try to criticize my dad with a contract. I won't be paralyzed. It's not your voice, it's out you. Now in the end, we set out again, yeah. Look at the set up. 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 separation with an industry that's wrong. I know she run away to the top, but she's as bad as all of them, but you gotta be stopped. You try to commodify yourself, and you're gonna hit the real you. It's not your voice, it's how you felt in the end. We said that again, yeah. But don't tell me, not gonna say it out, but don't tell me, not gonna say it out, but don't tell me, not gonna say it out, but don't tell me, not gonna say it out. I wanna tell you all about the different rights. That your own record label, you fancy. Not gonna say it out. 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 Say it out, but so easy to do. Didn't even do it if I wanted to. Wanna call me a hypocrite? Just 'cause I like to run for big. You try to modify yourself, and you're gonna, it's not real you. It's not your voice, it's how you sound in the end. Now again, yeah. But don't tell me, not gonna say it out. But don't tell me, not gonna say it out. But don't tell me, not gonna say it out. But don't tell me, not gonna say it out. I wanna tell you all about a different way. It's not your own record label, you fancy.
Oh shit! I forgot. I got caught out there by the end.
That was very punk.
It was very punk. Yeah. I like the little doo 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 kind of tune. It also fit perfectly with the. I've got that image of that Mexican dude on the screen, and it kind of fit with that kind of music.
I'm just uploading that to the subdomain BAMM.
Oh, BAM.
BAM. I'm just working on that.
Whoever did that must have taken a lot of, reasonable amount of time animating it. You would imagine. I don't know. It's impressively done. Even his eyebrows. The fact that they've made his eyebrows yellow and his eyes green, but kept the rest of his forehead as it was.
I don't think that's from the World Cup. I think that's older, but still.
Well, still.
That's all the time.
Yeah. Very interesting guy. So that was Louis Ling and the Bombs with Madonna is a corporate whore. There you go. Which I liked. I also like the random guy in the background just shouting "Fuck Madonna!"
Yeah.
all the time. She's as bad as all the rest, and she's got to be stopped. That's what he says. Yeah. Cool. All right, and I think we should get out of here because you've got to be up in 2 hours or something, and it's not 2 hours, but it could be. Yeah. I think we'll quit while we're ahead now that things are still working. And we await. We'll be back next week. With another Linux Outlaws, and we'll see you then. Bam, exactly. So I'm gonna kill the Icecast now, folks, and we'll speak to you very soon.
I'll kill the YouTube. See you then.